is going on? It's Ultimus. This time we're going to be looking at the Death Knight artifact calculator. I keep wanting to call it artifact talent tree, but I don't really know what to call it, so we'll just call it artifact tree, I guess. That's what we called it for our warrior one. Specifically looking at Unholy, because Unholy is the one spec that I seem to enjoy the most out of Death Knights. We'll cover Frost. If you guys are interested in it, obviously just let me know in the comment section below. But we'll go ahead and jump right in, because this one is a doozy. This is one of the first ones I looked at while trying to put off looking at the warrior tree because I was nervous. And no spoilers. But, well, you'll see. Alright, cool. Let's just jump right in. Let's start over here and work our way up. Maybe? No, just up here. We'll just start here. Okay. Portal to the Underworld. Enemies attempting to leave your death and decay are death gripped back to the center. So talk about some gnarly control. No longer going to be haphazardly just dropping death and decay around to maybe pop stealthies out or keep your back safe, or kind of just throwing it out there. I mean, you don't really necessarily haphazardly do it, but it's definitely not one of the most damaging spells you have. So this definitely will add a little bit more of a skill cap onto the skill itself, just to kind of see, alright, where our good Death Knight's going to be able to drop this on top of enemies and lock them into a place. I can only imagine some of the line of sight things you could set up and the stuns and the CC change you could set up as an Unholy Death Knight. Now that just sounds, just that one alone, because Death and Decay has a pretty wide range on it, so being able to drop that down and then it's basically just going to lock enemies into that for, you know, however long it works. Crazy. The Darkest Crusade increased the effect of your Fallen Crusader by 75%, and I believe Fallen Crusader is an ability, and that stacks up to 125. I don't remember if it's an activated ability or if it's a passive ability. I am curious. I'll have to look that up later myself, but you get a nice buff. We'll leave it at that. Scourge the Unbeliever. Dang. Instant, your Scourge strike has a 20% chance to refund a rune. I'm not sure if that tooltip is accurate as far as the instant goes, because that sounds more like a passive, but still, your Scourge strike has a 20% chance to refund a rune, so kind of cool, giving you the ability to cycle through more runes. And it looks like this stacks up to 40%, which is kind of crazy. Double Doom, your Sudden Doom grants you 2 free death coils, which is kind of cool. I could get behind that. More death coils means more ghoulish monstrosity we get there. Kind of crazy. The Shambler. Your attacks have a chance to summon a super zombie that shambles forward and explodes. Oh, a super zombie. Not just a normal zombie. Not just a casual undead. Not just a casual corpse we haphazardly raised up because, you know, that's all we had access to. No, this is a super zombie. And just shambles forward and then explodes. It doesn't say if it explodes on contact with the target. It doesn't say if it goes a certain range and then explodes. What would be cool is if we had like control over when it exploded. I think that would be kind of a cool gameplay mechanic to have. But either way, I'm a fan of exploding zombies. I mean, friggin' demonology warlocks are going to get the ability to throw their demons or their imps at enemy target and they blow up. So it makes sense why Unholy Death Knights would be able to do something similar with their zombies. I mean, I'm excited. And that's really the whole reason I played Unholy. I love the diseases, and I want to be able to summon hordes and hordes of undead. Unholiest of the Unholies. I see what you did there, Blizzard. I see what you did there. Increases the damage of your Unholy Blight by 10%, up to 15, and up to 20. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Armies of the Damned. Ghouls summoned by Army of the Dead now apply additional effects when using their claw. Oh, dang. So all the ghouls that you summon by your Army of the Dead, they now apply additional effects when you use their claw ability. Very, very interesting. So it looks like just more stacking debuffs on targets. I feel like Unholy Death Knights are going to get out of control really quickly here. I'm not complaining. I just feel like they'll find their place back in the game next to Frost, which would be quite nice. If I do say so myself. Runic tattoos, interesting. Increase your maximum runic power by X amount, we'll just say, and runic power generation by 0%. Interesting. So basically, and this will stack up to, who knows, because we're not getting numbers here, but you're going to get maximum runic power increase, and then your generation is going to go up higher. So more room for abilities, which is always a good thing. Less downtime, which is, as far as I'm concerned, a more fun way to play the game. Less downtime is a good thing. And then over here we have Rotten Touch. Increases the improved damage generated by Festering Strike by 75%, 100%, and 125%. Wow. That's kind of crazy. That's crazy. 125% buff. Like, I wonder how accurate these tooltip numbers are. Just after looking at some of the warrior ones and some of the other classes, just to kind of take a peek at what was going on, I'm curious how accurate these numbers are. You will know us by the trail of our dead. Your attacks have a chance to summon an army of the dead. Wait, how did I must have missed that my first time coming through here. What? That's bonkers, and it sounds like so much fun. So basically my attacks, any of them, auto attack, special attack, death coil attack, whatever, just has a chance to summon an army of the dead. That's 10 ghouls. Like, Army of the Dead summons 10 ghouls right now. We'll see if it changes. What? Like, what's the internal cooldown on that? Can I just, like, somehow, can RNGs just roll in my favor and I just get this to proc 3 times in a row, and all of a sudden I have 30 ghouls flying at the enemy target? You know how great that would be? The maniacal laughs coming from this side of the computer will be heard throughout my neighborhood. My neighbors will have to be wondering what's going on in my apartment. That's crazy. See, that makes me want to play an Unholy Death Knight even more, because it's just more ghouls to throw at the enemy. And it's not like I have to control them like any other pet. They just go off and do their thing. And as long as the AI isn't dumb. Like, that's cool. That's a cool effect. And again, very much like the Fury Warrior, we're seeing a major build upon what their vision is for the Unholy Death Knight. They're not veering from it. They're keeping it very centric to diseases and ghouls. Diseases and ghouls, which I can get behind. Kind of cool. Unholy Endurance reduces the damage you take from area effect attacks, or area of effect effects. Wow, that was a tongue twister. By 10%, 15%, and up to 20% as of right now. And then we're going to look at Deadliest Coil. Increase the damage and healing of your death coil by 10%, up to 20. Gravitational Pull. Enemies you death grip are rooted for 6 seconds. Oh, dang. Except that's going to root them after you death grip them, right? Because that sounds kind of counterproductive if you root them first. I remember playing a Death Knight for the first time and Chains of Icing someone, then trying to death grip them. Didn't work out too well. Deadly Durability. Reduces the damage you take by 6%. Okay, up to 13. 13 seems to be a pretty common number of these, so maybe 13 is an accurate one. And then lastly, Flagellation. We're going to go with that. Flagellation. Death Coil applies a debuff that increases Scourge Strike damage by 50%. Oh, dang. So your Death Coils are just going to apply a debuff that makes your Scourge Strike deal an additional 50%. And as an Unholy Death Knight, you're throwing Death Coils out a ton, and with Double Doom, your Sudden Doom is going to grant you 2 free Death Coils, and so the ability to keep this up sounds pretty easy. Like, this seems like the kind of debuff that probably shouldn't fall off, and if it does, it won't be for long. That's crazy. So I, for one, am looking forward to potentially trying out an Unholy Death Knight come Legion. I'm still not entirely sure what alts I'm going to play, because there's so many changes going on right now that I have no idea. Like, anything I thought I knew about Legion is kind of changing, and anything that I've enjoyed about classes could potentially be changing. Shadow Priests still sound insanely addicting and fun. I definitely am intrigued by Enhancement Shaman still. Hunters sound like fun. I really want to check out Monks. Holy Paladins sound like a blast. Affliction Warlocks have my interest peaked very, very high. Of course, Demon Hunters, who isn't excited about that. I think I've heard of maybe one person that doesn't really care, and you know what? He can just go jump on a pit of fell lava. I mean, you know, so there. We said it. But just, yeah, some pretty crazy cool stuff. Again, just like randomly summoning an army of the dead. That's the kind of stuff you're just like, yeah, see, that's exciting. Even if it is slightly RNG, just the chance of that to proc is cool. Like tons of ghouls between that, the Shambler coming out, and then some of our stuff on our talent tree that has a, you can summon the second undead. Like you're looking potentially at what, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 or so ghouls out there on the battlefield, plus your gargoyle if we get to keep it. I don't remember if we get to keep it. Speculation, I hope so. But it's like just the amount of undead you're going to be able to summon potentially as an Unholy Death Knight is bonkers. Because I don't even remember, too, I'll check it real quick, if Unholy Death Knights get access to Army of the Dead anyway. Yeah, okay. So as an Unholy Death Knight, we still get gargoyle. We still get Army of the Dead. You're still going to get, or you have a chance at All Will Serve. So your Raised Dead has it, or summons an additional skeletal minion. And then, of course, the Tortured Spirit too. Summon a slow-moving but powerful spirit to assist you in combat. So just the amount of creatures you're going to be able to throw out on the field as an Unholy Death Knight just sounds utterly wonderful. Like, I can't express enough how excited I am about this. Like, it sounds like so much stinking fun, and I can't wait. So definitely looking forward to seeing what this all looks like. And I feel like hopefully I say once as if I'm actually going to get in, if I get into beta, being able to take a look at some of the stuff firsthand, idea, of course, at what I'm having fun playing, what I like the feel of, and of course I'll be sharing all that with you guys if it happens. So let us pray to the RNGesus of the internet and maybe petition the Blizzard gods and Lords of the Office to let me into beta. I've tried pestering some of them on Twitter. I'm not going to lie, I'm not pathetic. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm definitely excited about the Unholy Death Knight changes. Again, let me know if you want me to go over some of the Frost changes. Some of the talents just aren't quite there. They're missing, which is okay, so we'll just have to go over them another time. We are keeping our eyes out still for the Arms Warrior, because that is what I'm most curious about, of course. But let me know if any of the other classes and or specs sound interesting to you guys and you want me to go over them. I would love to cover that stuff for you as best I can. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed it, please give it a share. If you can think of anyone who would enjoy it just as much, or if you just want to help grow the channel, it'd be much appreciated. But as always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.